Hello, everybody. Welcome to the call today. My name is Kevin Lightup. I have the pleasure of having the dude here with me today, serial project developer here on Titanx. And today's topic is Titanx, the secrets to passive income. And I didn't make that name up lightly. This is some serious stuff and a really cool opportunity. Before we really dive into it, I want you to know that there is a timestamp, a time limit on this opportunity. It pretty much caps out at November 9th. So if you like what you're hearing and you want to take action on any of this, November 9th is your deadline to do so. And I just want to, make something clear here. Aside from the crypto work that I do a lot of stuff in Web 2, and I'm always looking at opportunities. I'm always looking at multiple streams of income and ways to leverage my current position. And in doing so, I'm also looking at poking holes in systems that I find because I really want to break it down and see where the benefits are, where the struggles are in certain systems and that kind of thing. And with Element E280, I'm having a really hard time finding flaws in this. It seems like a fantastic opportunity and something that is designed to give payouts to people who contribute for years and years to come. And we'll get into the mechanics of how this all works, where revenue comes from this token, and that kind of thing. But the dude, yeah. So if we were to vision cast ourselves, 1 year out in the future, 2 years out in the future, 10 years out in the future, do you still see this being a viable option for users to be collecting rewards?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. And, I want to be careful about, especially as a founder, about, making future predictions on stuff like that. I will say that this is a smart contract that's forever on blockchain that will always be running forever. As long as Titanx is around, which is also immutable, this will run forever. And as far as like all the LPs that are built on Element 280, they're all burned. So those are locked into the blockchain forever. So yeah, transactions will continue to happen. Taxes will be continued to be paid and paid out to NFT holders forever.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing is that this system is designed around immutable smart contracts, immutable math, and regardless of what humans do, this math, this formula is going to keep doing its thing no matter what. That's like a set and forget it kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could never really imagine a time when Ethereum actually stops running. Aside from like an EMP attack on the world, and at that point we've got plenty of other issues to deal with. Yeah, like Ethereum will run way past my lifetime, and and that's what I love about crypto, and is the decentralized nature of it, and how it's once it's on blockchain, it's forever there, and just always running like clockwork. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And we're seeing that in the whole build on Titanx ethos, right? Where, you guys as the developers and as the community who are now really, demanding this as a standard, but that's to have these smart contracts, this immutable code, set as a standard so that we know what we're participating in. We know you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but you know what the mechanisms are that are going to create the future, which then, for my opinion, gives me the tools and the knowledge to make calculated decisions on this kind of stuff. I feel empowered to participate in the build on Titanx protocols because you know, I could study them, I could read them, and personally, I can trust. I can trust them. At least, you know, the projects that have come so far, the builders who've come so far. You know, I, I believe they're really doing good work, right? Like they share all their audits. They're out there. They're putting their heart into it all. You know, for example, dude, your first project was Helios. You launched that. I think it was somewhere around last January or February. Is that right?
February 28th.
Yeah, February 28th. Okay, awesome. I remember watching you. I remember watching you streaming leading up to it, you know, and I've watched your whole journey unfold in this ecosystem from then until now. And you know, and in doing so personally, I've gained a lot of trust in the work that you do. You know what I mean? And I've also, you know, I've watched how you presented yourself on these earlier calls, you know, through like the good times, the harder times, that kind of thing. And even right now, you know, there's a lot of eyeballs on E280 for all the right reasons, right? People are, in my opinion, people are loving this for all the right reasons. And I'm watching how you respond to this, and you know, you have this this level of excitement, but this even keel about you that, you know, it's clear that you've thought this through, and you know, these are just the results, and we're just kind of experiencing them. So it's been a really great journey that way.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, there's always some level of risk. I'm going to put that out there as well. But yeah, I definitely tried to follow like all of the steps to reduce that risk to as smallest amount as possible. You know, we do verify all the code on Etherscan. Anybody can, it's all open source. We do publish double audits on everything we put out. And yeah, like as far as by design, this is working exactly as I did, you know, expect it to. So it's beautiful to see in action.
Cool. I love it. I also love, we'll get into this more, that the revenue or the rewards that are coming in aren't necessarily coming in from users, right? Often crypto is thought of as that zero sum game, right? User versus user. However, in this instance, the rewards are coming in from bot actions, right? So we're taking, and we'll get into this more again, but we're taking advantage of these systems that are just kind of running in the background, which is super cool. Okay, so everything that we're going to talk about here, the best place to start to find out about it is on titanxhub.com. Here we have a list of all the community supported Titanx projects. All these projects are built on Titanx. So for those of you who don't know, Titanx is a layer 2 on Ethereum. However, we think of it as a layer 1 on a layer 1 because it's the basis that all of these other projects are built on, and they all have the goal of either burning Titanx, locking up Titanx, or using Titanx, you know, in advanced liquidity pools and advanced smart contracts to, you know, create this whole ecosystem that really works and thrives together. So you'll find all the Titanx projects on here, and specifically, you will find element E280, which we're talking about now. And over to the right, we have the white paper here, which you know, is a must read, a must study for any project that you dive in. We also have the socials to the dude and element E280, and then of course the DApp where you can you know, not only mint your NFTs, but you can claim your rewards. You can look at all the stats and all that kind of stuff. We also have some future projects coming along. One notable one, we have E360. I'll kind of just drop that nugget here and roll on.
369.
369. Yeah, 369. Okay. Which is a big number in the Titanx world.
Mm-hmm.
Big number in the Titanx world.
Yeah, awesome. We just celebrated day 369 yesterday, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. So that was a multi-million-dollar payout. A large portion of that went to DragonX to support the ecosystem. Another large portion of that went to stakeholders, community stakeholders, also to to the Helios DAO, I believe, as well. So very, very cool. A lot of really smartly used economic energy there. All right, let's get into Element E280. So I'm gonna hop over to the DApp here, and if you don't mind, I will just kind of explain it as I think of it, and then you can fill in the gaps where I miss out and that kind of thing. Sound good?
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. Okay, so E280, it has a 28-day mint period, so you can virtually create either the tokens by themselves, or you can mint NFTs. And that 28-day period is going to end November 9th. And then after November 9th, you can no longer create the tokens or the NFTs. Okay, that's it. If you want to get your own, you can do so by hopping over into the marketplace. But these puppies are wicked expensive on marketplace, and the prices are only going to go up because people are seeing the value of them. Let's just hop over. I think someone had one listed. I just want to see this for a second.
Yeah, last I checked, they were like 100 ETH.
Wild. And you know what? Rightly so, because these, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's one for one.
These NFTs are going to have a lot of value. Oh, sorry, where did they go?
Yeah, it's cool to see more showing up in the marketplace.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I think this marketplace will, with these NFTs, will get a lot of eyes on the Titanx community. People will be, coming here, doing their NFT thing as they do, and they're going to be interested. Like, why are there these NFTs that are so high priced, so many of them? And they start looking into it. They're going to make it to Titanx Hub. They're going to go down that rabbit hole, and the cycle continues, right?
Yeah. And then just if you're in the ecosystem, Titan Legends, they're trying to be like that central hub within Titanx ecosystem to be the NFT marketplace. And that supports the Titan Legends token as well. Just FYI.
Okay, awesome. And you can get there through the marketplace tab here.
Yep.
Awesome. So when you come in, you can mint tokens or you can mint NFTs. I'm primarily going to talk about the NFT minting because that's where the rewards are generated from. So if you're looking at this as a long-term reward generating project, then NFTs are where it's at. There are 3 different types of NFTs that you can mint. There's a common, rare, and legendary. They all have different price points to create. Common is 100 million Titanx. Rare is 1 billion Titanx, and the legendary is 10 billion Titanx. And they all deliver rewards, and they all deliver rewards at the same ratio, which is really cool because basically 10 commons is the same as 10 rares, and 10 rares is the same as 10 legendaries. So people
you misspoke there. 10 commons equals 1 rare, and 10 rares equals 1 legendary.
10 commons, 1 rare, 10 rares, 1 legendary. Awesome.
Or 100 commons, one legendary.
100 commons, 1 legendary. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so that means that people who mint the larger size NFTs, they don't get any special advantage in doing so, which evens out the playing field for all people. So it doesn't matter if you're, if you're a whale or a shrimp kind of thing, you can still play at the same ratio level as everybody else. I love how you did that.
Yeah, it was really just so that the whales didn't have to mint 100 commons, so they don't have to manage a bajillion NFTs.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly right. Like there's 0 additional bonus for them. It's all, like you said, same exact cost to reward ratio.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And another thing about these NFTs, which this bit off the back is like makes these things sweet. And this isn't even the good stuff, but your NFT costs a certain amount of Titan to mint. Like, so for the common, it's 100 million Titanx, but it's backed by 100 million element tokens. So if you ever feel like I'm done with my NFT, I want to cash it out, you can actually come to this site. You can burn your NFT and you'll receive the backed amount of element into your wallet, right? So this just completely elevates this NFT compared to, a pixelated JPEG floating around with some arbitrary value. It actually has a value that you can retain just by burning your NFT.
Right, and that's what that allows you to do is instead of traditionally with an NFT, you want to sell it, you take it to OpenSea, you list it, and then you wait for a buyer. With this, like you now have the option to just burn the NFT, collect your tokens, and now you're liquid. You can take those tokens to Uniswap and market sell those, and you're done. You've got your backed value out of it without having to wait for a counterparty.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So it's like, you're ready to retain value from it. You can do that on your own time, on your own schedule. You're not waiting and hoping for someone on OpenSea to scoop it up. Cool. Awesome. So that's the general overview of creating the NFT and what it looks like. Now we'll get into the rewards part of the NFT, but first I just want to explain something interesting about the E280 token itself. So the E280 token itself, it has a buy and sell tax baked into it. Can you explain a little bit about that, dude?
Yeah, it's actually a transfer tax. So it's not just buying and selling. It's anytime this token is moved from one wallet to another, it's paying a tax. Normally it's 4%, but during the mint phase, it's bumped up to 16%. And the tax on that primarily goes to NFT holders. So every time there's a movement of this token, that user is paying a tax, and that's where the rewards for NFT holders come from. So this isn't like rewards aren't coming from some supply that's inflating forever, and we're not just minting new tokens to pay out NFT holders. This is a deflationary token because another portion of this tax goes towards burning the element token itself. So with every buy, sell, transfer, some tokens are getting burned, some tokens are getting sent to NFT holders.
Love it. I absolutely love that. So that's where that recurring revenue, that value comes from. It comes from this token being bought, sold, or transferred. And that a portion of that value of those taxes goes to an NFT holder. So if you hold an NFT, you can sit back and claim those rewards week in and week out. It's a beautiful thing.
What sets Element 280 apart from like previous tax tokens that we've seen? There's with this having, I think it's currently 18 LPs, and we're always adding new ones as new projects within Titanx come out. By having it on several LPs, there's creating arbitrage opportunities all the time as the token value on each LP goes up and down. Arbitrage bots are going to buy on one LP at a cheaper rate and then sell those tokens immediately on a different LP for a small ROI. And then when they do that, they're paying that buy sell tax. So the arbitrage user is making small amounts of money, and in the process they're paying this tax, and that's what's going to NFT holders. So this isn't really relying on individual users buying and selling these tokens. This is the big I would say 90+% of the trading volume on this token are arbitrage bots, that are always constantly equalizing the price across all of these LPs.
Okay. And did you say there's 16 different liquidity pools?
I think we're at 18. We
Wow.
launched with 14 and then added 4 more. Yeah, so 18 currently.
18. Okay. And if you look at these pools here, hopefully y'all can see this on my screen, but these LP pools are with other tokens in the Titanx ecosystem. So this top one is Element and Titanx. Next one, Element and Dragon, Element Volt, Element Hydra, Element Lotus, and so forth. The list just keeps going on. And so I just want to reiterate what the dude said here. So because there's all these different pools, the element price in each of the pools is slightly different in each of the pools, right? There's just a little bit of a difference among all the pools. And there's these bots, right, that are programmed to look for these price discrepancies and see where it can make a small profit on it. And then it makes these rapid trades in the background. So what it's doing is it's trying to balance out the element 280 price in all these 18 different pools by making trades back and forth between them all. Every single time that's a transaction. It makes a little bit of money. However, there's that token tax is charged that currently is 16%, but moving into 4%, that's charged on every single transaction. And then those fees go to NFT holders. And these bots are just going to keep working over and over and over, trying to balance out these the element 280 price on all these currently 18 different pools.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that they don't even care what element token is. Like, they are literally, and they also don't care about the tax. So they see that this token has a tax on it, and they're factoring that in when they're buying on one pair and selling on another. They're factoring the tax in, and they're doing this in a single transaction. So they're making a buy on one pair and selling on another pair, and they're ending up with a couple of dollars in their pocket. And you know, one of the last transactions we checked, it was like the arbitrage bot made like a $16 profit on buying on one pair, selling on another, all in one transaction. And in the process paid roughly $200 in taxes that went to NFT holders. So like the arbitrage bot made 16 bucks on just a single transaction, and they're just running scripts. Like, these bots just run all day long. They're constantly looking, and it's not just Element, it's across the entire blockchain. They're just scanning all of Uniswap, and if there's an opportunity to buy one place and sell on another, they do that, and that's where they make their money. And so, like, they have really nothing to do with Element. It's just they just run across the blockchain. And so it's, you know, they don't care about the tax. If there's a dollar to be made, they're going to make that play, and they don't care if they're paying $200 in taxes, because they still made a couple of bucks. And that's where the NFT holders are winning.
Wow, I love that. So you thought of this came to you. Were you like out for a walk or something and got hit by a bolt of lightning? It was like, I got it, or was this a long time coming? How did you get to this conclusion here?
It's so yeah, there was this idea came way back, and originally the project, we wanted these NFTs to be backed by the actual tokens, and then we, you know, essentially we started going off to the side, and like our vision kept going. We kept moving further and further away from our vision, and we ended up just shelving the project because we're like, this isn't really working. And then that's when I realized, it was like, well, we don't actually need to be backed by these individual tokens. If we create an LP with each token, that means now the price of Element 280 goes up and down depending on the value of that underlying token. So, you know, we're paired with Dragon X. If Dragon X goes up 2x, the element on that pair goes up 2x. So it's almost the same as if you were holding that underlying token without actually holding it. It's just paired with it in the pool. And then that's when it really took off. Is like, realizing that, and then creating all these LPs. So essentially, Element 280 is backed by every token in the Titanx ecosystem. And then now we've got all these LPs, and now we're inviting these arbitrage bots, and that's where it's game on. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I love that. And for those of you who are new to all of this and the Titanx ecosystem, so Titanx has been around for just over a year. We just had the Titanx 1-year birthday, and we're transitioning into what's being known as hyper-deflationary mode within Titanx. And when that happens, we're expecting a lot of positive volatility in the whole ecosystem. That positive volatility will affect the prices of these Element 280 pools, which create more bot activity. That's the idea. That's the hope, right?
Yeah. The key to the arbitrage plays is the thicker the liquidity, the more volume they can put through on their buys and sells. And the more volume equals more taxes being paid. So as Titanx or any of the Titanx ecosystem projects grow, the liquidity pools will grow in size as well. And then that's where we're going to get increased buys and sells from these arbitrage bots, and then increased taxes.
Okay. So. Awesome. And you were mentioning how the fees not only go to NFT holders, but part of them go to buy and burn the E280 token. And after November 9th, there can be no more supply created. However many E280s there are, that's it. And with these perpetual taxes coming in, we'll essentially have a consistent buy and burn on these tokens, removing E280 off the market, making it deflationary as well.
Yeah, just small distinction. It's not a buy and burn. It's just a burn. Because
Sure.
it's slightly different. But yeah, with every movement of that token, Element is getting burned. So it is deflationary, and if you know anything about economics, supply and demand. Supply reduces and demand stays the same. What happens with price?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. And okay, I'll just share my screen here again. Oops.
I see a couple of questions. Will E280 continue to add new protocols to the LPs? Yes, it does. And how does it do this? It's community led. So we will create the LP with a small amount of tokens that we're purchasing off the market personally. And then users with tokens can come and add to these LPs. We've seen with these new projects like Lotus has already got like 7,000 or so in the LP. And, as the community grows, these LPs will continue to grow as well.
Awesome. And you had that in mind with the original design, right? Mm-hmm. To continue to capitalize on these projects that keep coming, which, builds out that pool of liquidity pools, creates more options for trading and so forth. Awesome.
Right. And we wanted to really follow the entire ecosystem. Like this is meant to be like holding Element 280, like the token or the NFT is like holding a piece of every token in the ecosystem. So, and it's like that because it's absorbing the price movements of every token in the ecosystem. So if any of these tokens go up in value, Element in that pair will go up in value as well.
Love it. Someone's asking about the value coming in right now. So I'll speak to that. The payouts are every Saturday. I believe you did that to improve gas efficiency, right? Make it weekly kind of thing. And so this Saturday coming up, I believe that my rewards are sitting somewhere between 12 and 15%, which is friggin' awesome. You know what I
Yeah, that's
mean?
insane.
That in a week, like that's absolutely incredible. You know, you take that to any kind of financial advisor, you know, they won't even know what to make of it, right? Yeah. So, so that's kind of where I'm sitting at for this Saturday coming up. Now, some things to talk. Let's kind of expand on that a little bit. So far, here, let me share my screen because this is another good one to see here. So if you go to the element280.win and you go to the stats here, this website's beautiful, by the way. I really like it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
You must put a lot of work into it, hey?
Yeah, there was several revisions, and it was kind of like once we got to this, it was like, yes, this is perfect. Like I'm so happy with the design we came up with.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's easy to navigate, easy to read. And if you're wondering about the adoption of this project so far, because it's been around for close to 3 weeks now, it's brought in almost 11 trillion Titanx. We're gonna be breaking 10 trillion pretty soon, and that's over $13 million in USD value has been brought in, and this is from creating NFTs and E280 tokens.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that speaks volume to, you know, what the community is thinking about this project. You're one of the biggest burners, right? You're up there, maybe top 5 or something like that.
So that's usually ranked by Titanx getting burned. If you scroll down, we're actually burning all of the ecosystem tokens that we initially launched on.
Okay.
So we actually are burning a ton more tokens, like in USD value, than what would be showcased on like Titanx Hub or whatever, because they're only tracking Titanx. Generally speaking, all of these build on Titanx projects, they're burning or locking up Titanx, and that's what's supporting the ecosystem. But we decided to take it a step further, since we are pairing our token with all of these build on Titanx protocols. We felt it was best to go ahead and burn some of their tokens as well. That'll help support them and in price appreciation. And that by buying and burning these ecosystem tokens, we're allowing their flywheels to run and increase participation on what they've got going on, because now they're able to offer higher ROI percents on what they're doing. And as participation increases with what they're doing, that's continuing to burn more Titanx. And then also the value of that token is going up, in which Element is built on top of. So we're helping all these ecosystem tokens perform better, so that we are built on top of it. Now we automatically absorb that and we perform better as well. So it's really not just supporting Titanx itself, but the entire ecosystem built on top of Titanx.
Yeah. Wow. You know, one of the things that people are you know, that draw people into Titanx, or the thing that keeps people in Titanx, is the community support and the builder support. Yeah. Watching all you builders work together to, you know, plan one project around another, so that you can all support each other. And I don't think there's a better example of it than, you know, seeing E280 burn this many of the various ecosystem tokens. Like this is quite the handshake to the whole community. And like you said, by making this action here, not only does it support all these projects, but then this action then goes and supports the E280 price, right? Because these ones change and the other ones change and so forth. So very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, adoption is big, right? We're at almost 11 trillion Titanx. We're burning a ton of E280 or ecosystem coins, and we have about a week left. I'm predicting that we'll maybe bring in another 3, 4, 5 billion or trillion more Titanx into this. I bet you will hit 15 Titanx. I don't know if you could kind of speak on that because you're the founder, but I think there's another wave coming. I think people are going to want to get in before the door closes. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah. So first off, my initial goal when I was launching this was hitting 10 trillion, and we've hit that. So like me personally, I'm like, this is a huge success right there on that. And then having a week left of minting, so we're only 3/4 of the way there. I'm super excited to see like what the final numbers could be. And I'll say this, like if you were familiar with Inferno, it had an 8-week minting period, and the last 2 weeks of minting on Inferno were the biggest mints they had. And then I think personally it was like you have a huge day one mint period, all the people excited on day one. But then when you get towards the end of the minting on the last 2 cycles, I think a lot of people started to FOMO going, realizing, okay, this token is about to be cap supply deflationary for forever after. And I think that brought in a ton of people that were waiting on the sideline to see how it would look. And then they're like, okay, I need to get in on this. So it'll be interesting to see how this last week of minting goes for E280. Does it pick up or does it slow down? We'll see what the open market decides.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I know where my head's at with all of this, and if anyone's thinking along the same lines as me, it's organized FOMO, right? it's prepping. It's like a week left. How do I shift things around? How do I make the most of this opportunity? Because it's cool. It's really, really cool, and I really like how one of the guys, Utah, how he keeps talking about how he's creating these NFTs for his family members, and how he can give them to gifts because it's this opportunity that just keeps supporting. So I think that's really cool. I think that's really neat, and that you could do that because there's the different categories of NFTs, so you could break it up into ways that fit you well. So okay, now. 10 million or 10 trillion Titanx has come in. Where I'm expecting another rush before the end, and then after that, it's a cap supply, and the tax ratio goes from 16 to 4%. Now, there's a couple variables happening here. First of all, so the rewards get divvied up respectively to all the NFT holders, right? So there'll be the max amount of NFT holders on November 9th. That number will start to go down as people slowly burn their NFTs and cash out, right? Mm-hmm. The 4%, the change from 16 to 4%. So we were talking about that, and there's potential for, even though the percentage goes down, but for the bot opportunity, I think that increases. I might be wrong in saying this, but I feel like once the tax, I feel like the bots factor in that tax when they're making their trades. So now it being moved down to 4%, they have a larger opportunity for ROI, which means bigger trades and that kind of thing. So that might even cancel out or in some ways balance the mitigate the drop in the fee percentage.
Yeah, it allows them, because they're factoring in that 16%. So there has to be a larger price discrepancy of a margin for them to close that gap and have it profitable. With paying only 4% tax, there's going to be a much smaller price difference margin that will allow them to close the gap and still be profitable on their trade. So very likely we'll see more trades. As far as the amount of taxes paid, yeah, I can't really speak to that. That would we'll see very soon in a week.
We will see. We will see.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's kind of like I'm almost looking at it as like it's we'll almost like find our floor and then go from there. But I mean, that floor could be right where we're at now, could be a little bit lower. We could even see an increase in price, right? The one thing I've learned in this Titanx ecosystem is like whatever you think's going to happen, the opposite could happen. For like, I mean, the classic example is day 280. We're all expecting that Titanx dip, and it just held and went up. So, anything can happen here. Anything can happen. Yeah, awesome.
Another thing that I like to point out is, again, at the end of the mint phase, these NFTs, the supply is capped. And as people burn their NFTs to claim their backing, your share of the reward pool is going to grow. So generally with any staking platform or any platform with rewards, as more users show up and they come in, they're diluting your share of the stake. So it's without increasing your position, your share of the pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller as more people come in. With this design, that's impossible to happen. Like after the mint phase is ending, the NFT supply is capped. So nobody else can come in with a new NFT and dilute your share of the pool. The only thing that can happen is people exit the system and they're burning their NFT. And so your share of the pool will slowly grow. Every time someone burns an NFT, you now have a larger share of the pool permanently. And it will never go down, just always increase, which I think is really understated. Like, I don't think I've seen that anywhere else. Like everywhere else you go, you're constantly fighting new users showing up. With this, the only way they're going to get an NFT is on that secondary market. If they want to get into this game after the mint phase is there, the only way is to buy it on that market, and that's where NFT holders are winning, in my opinion.
So right now, the current supply is 6,358 NFTs. That's right.
Yep.
So the tax rewards coming in, they get split evenly based on ratio to all of these tokens. Okay. Now, if one of these are burned and it goes from 6,358 to 6,357, now the remaining NFT holders, their portion of rewards just increased because one of the NFTs is out, and so that's gonna slowly happen over time. The number of NFTs is capped November 9th, and then it's slowly going to go down over time as people burn their NFTs. And as that happens, the amount of rewards the remaining NFT holders receive goes up.
Yeah, and you can see there's already been 3,887 NFTs burned.
Wow. I love that. So theoretically, there will be a time when one NFT is collecting all the tax rewards.
That would be crazy to see. I couldn't imagine the second to last NFT holder burning his NFT. If they're two NFTs splitting it 50-50, like there's no way. I don't know. I mean, again, this is open market, so it's all speculation. There's no way of knowing. But yeah, no doubt, I think NFTs will be getting burned. But at a certain point, when their share of the pool starts growing larger and larger, I think you're going to see fewer and fewer NFTs burned. But then you've got the token backing, and if that's going up in value, that's going to incentivize people to burn their NFT because they want to claim those underlying tokens. So Lots of different ways to play it, and my eyes will be glued to the stats page for the coming months to see how people react to the market forces, and how all this plays out will be very interesting. What I do know for sure is that these tokens will be deflationary. Every trade it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and NFT supply can only go down, never increase. So that's about the only for sure's in this, and the rest of it we'll just have to wait and see and watch the stats.
Because every trade or transfer, fees go to NFT holders and fees go to burning element. Yep.
And then there's another small portion that goes to the Helios treasury. So
yes,
they are permanently earning element tokens as well, and those will be used to support the Helios ecosystem. Right now, we're just kind of accumulating, but very soon we'll start utilizing those tokens to support HLX.
Perfect. Yeah, that Helios treasury, it's getting funds from various different places. Not only from the Titanx staking payouts, but there's a few other ones. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember reading it in the white paper. People contributing to it because they know that what value opportunities are generated from that. So very cool.
Yeah. To name a few: Flux, Pulsar, Aviator X. They're all sending Titanx to the treasury, and then that's kind of side topic with HLX. The whole vision of that is to continuously expand and add more and more treasuries, so that again, this doesn't depend on user participation. Whether people are doing anything with it at all, the treasuries will always be there earning value and putting that value towards the buy and burn and towards stakers. So that's really pretty much what I try to build in any of these projects that I've come up with. Is it doesn't require user participation, and Element 280 is no different. If nobody does anything with this protocol, there's still going to be arbitrage bots showing up to equalizing that price across all these LPs forever. So this doesn't require a human to come in and do anything. This will all happen on its own.
I hope all the listeners heard that part, because that is like the secret sauce to this, right? It's using the systems that are to generate those fees, generate those returns. It doesn't need extra people coming in. That's brilliant, dude. Absolutely brilliant. And as a user to participate in this, it's super easy. I believe you've been coining it as the easy button into Titanx. Is that right?
Yeah. And the idea with that is you go to Titanx Hub and you see a list of 20 projects. As a new user, you can get overwhelmed. Even as a user in the ecosystem like myself, there's so many things going on that it's hard for me even to keep up with. It's like it has to be a full-time job to keep up with the boom of the Titanx ecosystem, which I love. I'm there's no complaint there. It's great for the ecosystem. But what I wanted this to be is that Titanx easy button. And what I mean by that is just holding the element token is like holding all of these tokens. It's as any of these tokens go up and down in value, the element 280 token will absorb that price, volatility. So it's, if you wanted all of the ecosystem, element 280 would be that solution for you. And then obviously you're earning rewards on top of that.
Yeah. Full-time job. If somebody had a large enough portion in Element 280, perhaps their weekly payouts could replace that 9 to 5 that they have, and then they could spend the rest of their time reading white papers and brainstorming on all the future possibilities. sure. Sweet, man. Sweet. And so as a user to participate, it's super easy. What you need is a browser wallet like MetaMask, and you need to have either Ethereum in that wallet or Titanx. You can come in with both.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you come in with both, and you connect your wallet here, and then if you want some tokens on their own, not the NFT, you would use this top section here. However, if you wanted the NFT, you would come here. You would select your payment method, Titanx or ETH. You could toggle between the two, and then what you do is you choose how many of the NFTs that you want, and then it tallies it up, and you mint, and then you got them. One thing to note here is we have this amped, and the difference between a regular and amped is the reward multiplier is higher by 0.2x. And can you explain that a little bit?
Sure. So there's an additional cost if you use the amped. If you want an amped NFT, there's an additional 10% cost. So on that common, 10% of 100 million is the 10 million. You don't get an additional backing, but what you do get is a 20% bonus and rewards. So you're paying an additional 10%, getting 20% additional in rewards. So this is really to cater towards, I would say, the more long-term minded users. If you're anticipating like minting this NFT and then after a month you want to burn it and claim the backing, this is probably not for you because you're only getting 2 or 3 payouts and then you're burning that NFT to get your backing, which there is no additional backing, with this burn. But if you're going to hold this for 10 years, it's possible that 20% bonus and rewards will outweigh that extra 10% that you pay in costs without getting that additional backing. So it's just another way to customize how you want to play this game, essentially.
Very cool. Yeah. I'm all about the amped. To me, it makes sense. To me, this is a long-term opportunity. I'm in a mastermind, and there was a fellow who minted a bunch of regulars, and then he did some calculations, and then he sold all his regulars, and then he bought a bunch of amped ones, and he's really happy with that move. So that's what you do. That's how you mint your NFTs, and then every Sunday, what you can do is you can hop over to the vault, and I don't have my wallet connected here, but on the left-hand side, it will show you how much you've accrued in rewards. And on the left-hand side, it will show you a list of all your NFTs that you have. And this is where you would burn them if you wanted to. And then you would use this section here to collect the rewards that are available to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And in that top right section, global NFT rewards to be distributed. So on that left side, that's what's already been paid out in green. And then on the right side, that is what is accumulating to be distributed. That's the weekly payout. So in 44 hours, the distribution button will be available. A single person will click that, and then all NFT holders will be able to claim their portion of that reward. So if you want to get a part of the current payout, which is at $827,000 USD, you've got 44 hours to mint you an NFT or buy one off the market.
And this was generated in under a week so far.
Yes. This is a weekly payout. So roughly 5 days, because we've got just under 2 days left for that payout. So in roughly 5 days, we've built up to that, which is amazing.
That's absolutely amazing. Over $800,000 in about 5 days. That's wild. What's going to happen when when this coin is when E280 is being burnt, right? And the value, because this USD value is occurred from here, right? So when this when the value per coin is up, what's this going to look like? You know, I'm stoked on this. This is really, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, if you look, there's 518 billion tokens about to get paid out. If you go to the stats and look at what's liquid, what's on the market right now, hover over the green
The little tiny one.
Yeah, there's 374 liquid. So there's more in NFT rewards than there is liquid, which I think is an awesome stat to look at. I mean, obviously the 40% burned is amazing. That we've burned 40% of the supply in 3 weeks. But yeah, I really like 3.4% liquid is I could not have, like, if I was to speculate before launch, I would not have picked such a small number. Like, that's insane to me to see.
Wow. So you before you launched this, you would have been running simulations and, you know, different scenarios and that kind of thing.
Yeah, mainly like Excel sheets, you know, just
yeah. And how are things looking now compared to what some of your estimates were like?
Oh, much better. Yeah, and I you know, when I'm doing simulations, obviously I'm doing like I'm making guesses on what I think will happen, and then I scale that back just a hair so that I'm not like overestimating and making sure that, like, even if this doesn't perform as well as I think it would, how would that look, you know, in my simulations? And, you know, in running those, I felt like, yeah, this is a great system. This should be, you know, something that's sustainable and work as intended. And now that we're in real life, you know, this is live, it's absolutely working much better than what I had simulated. So yeah, it makes me super happy to see the design, you know, in full force, just exactly as designed and better, you know.
Yeah, I bet. My other work, we've I would call myself a serial entrepreneur. So, you know, I've done a lot of business building, have helped others build businesses, and I know how much it takes, you know, mentally and physically to, you know, take a project, an idea, and launch it into the world and share it with others. It's actually, you know, one of the biggest roadblocks people have from actually following their dreams in terms of creating a business or a project is they just get in their own way, right? They have this big vision and they can see it, but then, you know, they just don't follow through for whatever reason. And then for those who see the vision, work hard, move through, and then you know, actually see people participating with it, and in your case, in a way that is operating above what you were originally forecasting, that's got to feel pretty good, man. That's gonna feel pretty damn good.
No doubt. I also want to point out that within the Titanx ecosystem, there's several opportunities, grant funds for people that have ideas and they would like to be a part of building this, and they think they have a great idea and they want to, you know, put something to life, but they have no idea how to do smart contracts or websites or any of that. There's a few options that they can take, and off the top of my head, I know there's Awesome X and Baby Dragon X. I know there's another one, but I can't think of it, that have grant funds. So you can go to them with your ideas, and if they like your idea, they will support you and even help fund it to get it to the market, and help you create, you know, what you think would be something successful. So something for all you future builders out there that don't know what to do. It's not the end of the road. Like, Titanx is something different. Like, I feel like there's on so many different levels why this is an amazing ecosystem, and that's one thing that I think is just that really adds to it. So
yeah, if you have an idea, if you have a vision, there's people who want to support you, right? And there's tons of mentoring. going on in this whole ecosystem. You know, like you just said, there's grants. I even think Eric was offering a grant for Tinkville.
Yes.
I saw a post for that. So
Yeah.
amazing. Where else are you going to see something like that? You know, it's incredible. It really is. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it had to start somewhere. It had to start with people building Helios out of the blue, right? Like just, you know, I'm doing it, or Dragon, or any of those early projects, or Blaze. You know, those guys, they're fundamental in the explosion of the projects by mapping out Blaze, building it, and then, you know, creating even their Accelerate program around it, where they're, you know, consulting and help facilitating the process forever. It's all right here in this Titanx ecos.
See another question in the chat. Is there a time limit to receive rewards from your NFT? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but you don't have to claim. There is no time limit, I guess, is the answer to that. There's no penalties on late claims. As weekly payouts come every Sunday, you don't have to claim that. If you don't claim it and then the next Sunday comes and gets distributed, it just adds to your stack. And then you can come in 6 months later and click that claim button, and it'll claim every weekly payout in the last 6 months, all in one batch transaction. So
awesome. So I'm just reading through these comments here, seeing if there's any questions I can pull out. Oh yeah, I'm also supposed to tell everybody to like, subscribe, share this out.
Yes.
I'm just happy there's people watching. I'm just happy I was able to get you on here, dude, to chat with me. It's much respect.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to be here. Like I'm loving like all of the Titanx streamers. Like they are all great people. All the builders in Titanx are great people. And just every stream I do is very enjoyable. So
awesome. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm doing this because I literally spend like half my day looking at this stuff, listening to streams, reading white papers. And I feel like I want to, you know, share what I'm learning, you know, just share that wealth the best I can. That's why I'm popping up here.
yeah, I love it.
Awesome. One question I wanted to ask. So let's go back to the minting. All right. So minting either brings in Titanx to mint or ETH, and if it's ETH, it routes through Titanx first. So so you've done that for convenience of the user, yet everything comes through Titanx. And then what happens to that Titanx that comes into this smart contract from minting?
It's a 90% buy and burn. So majority, if you go to the buy and burn, this is where all the fun is. So yeah, this is where all the Titanx gets allocated to a certain percentage. You can view those percents in our white paper. But as Titanx comes in, it gets distributed across all of those ecosystem tokens. And then any user can come in and click the burn button, and it'll use that Titanx to buy the ecosystem token. It burns 10% of that. So that's where we're getting the ecosystem token burns. And then what's left over, it uses to buy and burn E280. So every single one of those buttons burns E280, but it also burns whatever ecosystem token that you're clicking as well. So, and in one click, I guess I should explain as well, like when it's taking Titanx, we'll look at Helios, or let's look at Baby Dragon X. Baby Dragon X is paired with Dragon X. So when you click the burn button on Baby Dragon X, it's sending Titanx to buy Dragon X. And then when you buy Dragon X, it's pushing up the price of Dragon X, which also pushes up the price of Baby Dragon X and Element 280, because they're all paired on that. And then with the Dragon X, we're buying Baby Dragon X, which pushes up the price of Baby Dragon X a second time, pushes up the price of E280 a second time. Then we burn some Baby Dragon X, and then go on to buy E280, which is now pushing up the price of E280 a third time. So in one click of a button, you're pushing up the price of Baby Dragon X twice, burning some, and pushing up the price of E280 three times and burning a huge balance of that. So that's, in my opinion, that's, I don't know, like I haven't seen anything better than that. It's so cool to watch, you know, and when you're looking on the charts and you're seeing the volume of trades across the entire ecosystem just from this one protocol is amazing to watch.
So I mean, one could say that by creating a NFT, they're literally bolstering the whole ecosystem, layer on layer on layer, multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like a chain effect, really.
Yeah, yeah. And as an NFT holder, you are that top level holder that's built on top of everything. So it's, yeah, I mean, essentially 90% of what's coming in is going back to support the user.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So good. Man, these projects just get, and for the user, all you really need to do is mint your NFT and kick back and enjoy the rewards, right? All this magic's not magic, all this math, all this designed math is happening in the background for you. It's all working. It's all doing the thing.
No lockup, no staking. Literally, just hold the NFT in your wallet. That's all you got to do. Or, you know, if you pick one up on the secondary market, that's all you do. You buy it off the secondary market, and now you're immediately eligible for the weekly rewards.
Sweet. Yeah, that was one of the things. Personally, I never leaned too hard into staking because I didn't like the idea of locking up my coins. You know, that's just absolute personal preference. That's one of the things I like here is, you know, I'm not locking it up. I'm not locking it up, and you know, there's weekly payouts, and the payout pool is not determined on new users needing to come in.
Yes.
That's pretty.
And that is a big distinction. Most protocols that allow paying out passive income usually requires some kind of lockup and some kind of staking. So I was really excited to be able to implement this to where there is no lockup, no staking. I think that's an awesome feature.
Yeah, and with that, with the tokens being, you know, backed by the E280 token, you know, they're going to be it's designed for the value of them to go up, right? You know, we'll just put it that way, and you know, that just that creates some cool opportunity. 100%. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through my notes here, seeing if I kind of missed anything.
How many amped have been burned? We just have a total supply burned, so I'm not sure.
So if you transfer NFTs, do the rewards follow? Do you want to explain that?
Yes. Yeah. So if you've got unclaimed rewards, that's attached to the NFT. So like, say you put an NFT up on the marketplace for sale and it sits there for 2 weeks, and then a user goes to purchase it, they could immediately go in and claim all of those rewards that it's earned in the previous 2 weeks. So yeah, rewards are never lost. They essentially, they follow the NFT. And then, you know, if you're going to burn your NFT to claim your backing, I would highly recommend that you claim all unclaimed rewards before you do that. We've got a big warning sticker on the website, but it will let you burn an NFT with unclaimed rewards if you don't do that. So like I said, we've got a big warning banner, so just please be careful with that.
Claim your rewards before you sell.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
100%, 100%. I love that. Yeah, man, this is great. And then more future casting. This is, I believe that you being, I called you a serial builder because you are, right? We got Helios, we have Giannis, we have Element 280, we have E369, and those are just kind of like the public ones. I'm sure you got a whole bunch of other stuff coming along the lines. But the E369, does that have an Element 280 aspect?
Yes, it's I've been calling it like the expansion pack NFTs.
Okay.
So there's no new token with the 369 NFT. Minting that, you mint it with Titanx or ETH. And what it's doing is utilizing the Flux protocol to auto compound and enter the Flux auctions automatically, and it's allowing the user to earn Element 280 tokens, Inferno tokens, and Flux tokens. So it will also contribute to buying and burning the Element 280 token. So that's kind of why I consider this like an expansion pack. So if you hold an E280 NFT and you mint Element 369 NFT, you're kind of supporting Element 280. You're supporting yourself with your NFT because it's going to help reduce the supply of Element 280 faster through this secondary protocol. And it's obviously it's also supporting Inferno and Flux as well, utilizing them, which Element 280 is built on top of. So it's a great way to add on to, like, if you really like E280, I think this would be a great way to add on to that to help support yourself. Really
Cool, love it.
Yeah.
Can I'm working on a diagram for E369 because that's how my brain works. I need to be able to visually look at it. Can I share what I got so far?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So this is what I got so far, and I haven't looked at it in a couple days, so I don't really know if I could totally explain it really well. But basically, the idea is you mint your NFT, and if I remember, minting goes in cycles, 44 days on, 44 days off. Is that right?
Yes, and that's to stay in sync with the Flux protocol. They've got an 88-day payout. And so to avoid people gaming the system, we're going to sync it up to where within an 88-day payout, you can only mint NFTs in those first 44 days. And then minting will close off for the second 44 days phase of that and then once that 88-day payout comes in, we reopen minting for another 44 days. So
okay. Cool. So
yeah, sorry. It's really just to prevent people minting an NFT right before the 88-day payout and then getting a piece of that and then burning their NFT. So you have to mint and hold for at least 44 days to get a portion of that.
Got it. Okay. One of the things I'm missing from this diagram is what happens to the. I believe it's Titanx is the input to mint your NFT. So I got to add this onto the diagram. But essentially, what I wanted to map out here was this the Flux flywheel and what's happening, because for those of you who don't know Flux is a daily auction project, and inside of that there is a staking, and staking is paid out at various times. And what happens is in this loop, let me just see if I got this right. So
yeah,
there's so the Flux daily auction happens, and I believe some of the Titanx that comes in to mint the NFT goes to that, but I don't have that on here. Anyhow, the rewards that are generated from the Flux daily auction, 50% are autos. Let me just make sure I'm saying this right. 50% is auto staked and 25% is back staked. for to be eligible for the 7/7 payout, and then 25% of that goes into the NFT vault, and that's all Titanx.
What now? So it's Titanx entering the auction, and that we're auctioning for Flux tokens. So from there, that 25%, that's Flux tokens going straight to the NFT holder, and then the rest of those tokens are getting max staked forever, locked up. And then with those staking payouts, now we're receiving Titanx back out of the staking payouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And this is the big one. So these are the Flux staking payouts. So 30% goes back into the auction to keep that perpetual wheel going. 50% gets split up where 25% of that goes to buy Inferno, 25% buys E280, and then all of that goes into the NFT vault. What's relevant to us here, this being a E280 call, is that 20% of the payout goes to these 3 different buy and burn buckets, 10% going to the E280 buy and burn. So this is a secondary perpetual buy and burn that is coming for E280.
Exactly. Yes. And I'll say like the really selling points of Element 369 is so if anybody's familiar with these daily auctions, you have to be there every day to participate in that auction and to take advantage of it. So this allows a user to just hold the NFT, and by holding this NFT, they're getting daily participation in the auctions without having to do anything. It's automatic. And then on top of that, with the staking payouts, 30% of that is getting auto compounded into more daily auctions, which are automatic. So this is kind of the easy button for the Flux flywheel. Like if you're interested in the Flux protocol, holding this NFT just makes you a permanent user, just daily user of this protocol. And all you have to do is just hold the NFT, and now you're earning the Flux tokens, Inferno, which is what Flux is built on, and then of course the E280 tokens. So
love it. I like that because the staking, the perpetual auction protocols, I've had a hard time wrapping my head around that. Because I know you got to be in there every single day, and a lot of people have done very, very well doing that, but I haven't been able to. So that makes this very appealing for me. And also, what this system is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems like really a whale participant in the whole system that is designed to support the Flux protocol, right? It's designed to, keep locking up more Flux, keep sending that, keep burning different protocols and all that kind of stuff. So it's like it's kind of like a supportive, benevolent whale. Kind of
yeah, I mean, we're never selling Flux tokens, but we're constantly injecting Titanx into the auctions every day, which that's what's going to support the Flux protocol. And by never selling it, the token price doesn't get hurt by us being a whale in the system. And then by doing that, now it's allowing other users to have more opportunities to get their ROI in, as far as personally participating in these daily auctions.
Awesome. So we have this coming to support Flux, and we also have Phoenix coming to support Flux. So
yes. And I did it.
Flux is about to have its day in the sunshine pretty soon here.
Yeah. And I did a stream with Callum, if anybody's interested in learning more about how both of these protocols will support Flux and the future of Flux in that system. Yeah, Element 369. we're waiting for Element 280 minting to close down first. We definitely don't want to do anything until that whole loop is shut down. And then we can enter, what I would say like the second phase. Minting is ended. the Element 280 token is capped forever. No more NFTs can be minted. And then about a week after that, a week or two, I would say, we're going to open up 369 NFT minting.
Okay.
And that'll be, a perpetual thing.
Yeah.
So
that's right away. So things must be close in terms of development for it, hey?
Yes, we are in our second audit right now. So
Second
already audited once. Second audit's in the process. Things are looking great. The front end is getting designed, and this will be added to the Element 280 website. It's going to be all under one single website, all the same branding and everything. Yeah, it's going to be here before you know it. And then we've got Volt Gold coming, which that's not me personally. That's Steve DeFi. If you're not familiar with Volt, I highly recommend you look into that as well. But Volt is launching their pillars, which one of their pillars is Volt Gold. And the input token to mine Volt Gold is Element 280. So that's coming out, I think, mid-November. So right around the same time as 369. So that should, drive demand for the Element 280 token at some level. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited for the launch. And then also, so that's two projects. And then there's a third project that I'm working with Utah Crypto, who's the founder of Blaze. The protocol is called Stacks, and that is another easy button that we're creating that will be under the Element 280 banner. And you guys can look out for that in December. So 2 projects in November and a third in December coming that all will support Element 280 and help accelerate the burning of these tokens and creating more deflationary aspect. So no shortage of greatness. I love how smooth this protocol is just rolling just into what I think is amazing. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, my organized FOMO is going up now. Just hearing all the things to come. That's great, man. That's awesome. What a cool opportunity. What a great place to be in the know of all this. So I listen to all these calls, all the interviews that everyone has and everything, and I go for walks, right? Like I'll walk like 5, 7, 8 kilometers a day kind of thing. And sometimes I walk by a person and I just want to grab them and be like, "Dad, like what I'm listening to right now, you need to know this." Unfortunately, that's not socially acceptable, so I don't, harass random strangers about it. But I'm like, this could change your life, like,
I've kind of given up on like trying to spread the word of what crypto can do for people. Like even, friends and family, like I'm a living example of what crypto can do for a person. Like I am in this full time at this point. Like I've quit my previous job. This entire year I've been full on crypto. And even with friends and family seeing that, they're like, good job, like I'm glad that's working out for you. And I'm like, I can show you how to do this, and like they're like, I'll stick to my 9 to 5, thanks. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I was Titanx was my first introduction into crypto, basically. I joined Jake's mastermind in the beginning of the summer before it all kind of came together. So basically, like when it launched, I was mentally prepared for it, and I just thought, all right, I got this great opportunity. I'm going to share it with all my family and all my friends, and they're going to be cheering my name. I'm going to be the hero. And that was not the case.
No.
That was, people were just sharing their viewpoints, their unknown biased opinions, or their experience they had on the stories they heard or whatever. And a lot of it was hard, and I had to just I just had to stop sharing it with people because I didn't want that mentality flowing my way and affecting the decisions I was making. So some people jumped on board, and those people who jumped on board, I'm chatting with every single day, and we're having a riot. And then everybody else, I'll take them for dinner in a year from now or something like that.
Right. Yeah, that's the way I see it. Is like with my family, it's fine. I'm always there to support my family, but I feel like with friends, I'm like, well, I tried to help you.
Yeah,
if I can only show you the door. You have to go through it, right?
And you know what? You need to focus on what's important to you. Your personal wealth creation, these projects that you're building on, right? And it's important that you stay in high vibes and integrity in all of this, right? So it's another thing about these streams in this community that's important is surrounding yourself with the energy that's taking us in the direction that you want to be going in, right? That's super important. So, and I see that. I mean, I see you're streaming, daily, and the whole community is like, constantly sharing ideas and that kind of thing. So it's a good place to be for sure.
I mean, blockchain in general is the future, no doubt in my mind. And it's the actual like tokens, like Bitcoin, that's a speculative asset, but the technology behind it is undeniably like as great as the internet. Like this is something that everybody agrees the technology itself is amazing. The debate is the value of these tokens built on the technology, but nobody denies that blockchain is the future. But in my opinion, like the Ethereum, with smart contracts, this is the future of finance. DeFi, decentralized finance, will trump traditional finance. It will eclipse it. And we've already seen, it's getting listed as ETFs. Banks are starting to get involved. They're Fidelity is mining Bitcoin. Like if there's if you look into it, like at face value, people will go, I don't know, I'm not sure. But it's like, if you really look into it, to me, it's undeniable that massive, large players in this world are getting into not just blockchain, but Bitcoin and Ethereum itself. So building Titanx on the Ethereum blockchain, I think, was an amazing play. You see other blockchains that come out, their first thing, like they don't evolve into anything unless they bridge themselves back to Ethereum. If there's no bridge to Ethereum from their blockchain, it pretty much does nothing. So I feel like Titanx is just in this perfect place. They're on the number one blockchain that's to me is getting adopted by large players in this world, and this is just the beginning. It really is. People don't understand true scarcity. Fiat is inflated every day by your government. This is the opposite. Bitcoin is a cap supply. Ethereum kind of fluctuates, and then with Titanx, the same thing. It fluctuates. There is a way to mine it, and there's burning going on. So there's ups and downs with the inflation on it. But at this point in time, we're ready to hit hyper deflation. With all these protocols coming out, the burning of Titanx is not going to slow down. But we've seen the supply side of things come to a halt. Like this is one of the last weeks of supply coming out, and we've got like clear skies, like months and months ahead of zero inflation with constant deflation. Where does this all go? I don't know. I will be here to find out. I have no doubt on that.
We will all know soon enough. Until then, it's like breathe, be calm, and just be ready, be clear headed, so that you can make the smart decisions moving forward. Because all of us in this ecosystem, we will have big decisions coming forward. You know what I mean? And the more you take your time, the more you learn, the more you're prepared for all of that. Yeah, and speaking to your other topic, you know, I remember Jake always saying, you know, he chose ETH because that's, you know, that's where the volume is, right?
Yeah.
And he compared it to a shopping center. Would you want to put your store in like a little kind of strip mall kind of thing where you get a little bit of traffic, or do you want to be in the shopping mall where you're having hundreds of thousands of people coming through, kind of thing? So yeah, that makes sense to me. And you know, your point about these smart contracts, and it kind of flows into what we were talking about, a lot of people's general opinion in crypto. And you know, crypto is also kind of like the internet in the way that, you know, it could be used for bad or it could be used for good, right? It all depends on, you know, the intentions of the builder, the intentions of the community. And I truly think that the Titanx community is absolutely has crypto's best intentions at heart and the users' best intentions at heart. Like everything is you know, multi-audited. It's all, you know, fair launch, evenly distributed tokens. That is huge, right? It just, the idea of this ecosystem and the goal is to balance that playing field among the users, you know? So because so many projects, people outside of the ecosystem in other areas of crypto, they get in and they're already at a like it's heavily weighted against them to get taken out, right? You know, it doesn't even, and finding out that kind of information of where they actually sit in that ecosystem isn't even readily available. Here, not only is it readily available, we have all the white papers, we have people streaming, people are available. Each project has a dedicated, supported Telegram group, right? You can see the audits, you know what's going on. This is using crypto in the best case scenario, in my opinion. It's using the tools for good, as it should be. Yeah.
And just to point out that's not a guarantee. You still have to do your own research and verify yourself, because ultimately this is DeFi. Anybody can come in and build whatever they want on top of Titanx, just like any other smart contract. The difference is that we are trying to raise awareness within our community to know that, hey, you need to verify that these contracts are audited, that they are, you know, having the proper documentation, all those things that we expect to see in the Titanx ecosystem. The community is trying to keep these builders in line with that. But like I said, it's not a guarantee. So you still, with crypto, you have to do your own research. That is key. I wouldn't participate in a single project without reading a white paper, without checking audits and verifying that what you're getting into is doing what it's designed to do.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, even this call, you know, as excited as I am on all these projects, I'm just some guy on the internet sharing my opinions. So, you know, if you listen to what I say and you just ape into things, that's all on you, right? So yeah, and I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that, you know, most of us participating in crypto, we all have that dream of financial independence through all of this, right? That's kind of like the ultimate goal. And if you want that to happen for you, your best chance of making that happen is to put in the time, right? Like, you know, don't make an investment and then just be like, all right, I'm going to come back. This thing is going to make me rich. No, spend every single day looking at this, looking at it from different angles, reading the white papers, learning how to read audits even, right? Watching the streams, like seeing how this relates, the project that you're in relates to, you know, the wider crypto at large, what's happening, you know, in the Bitcoin cycles, how is this all affecting? Arm yourself with this kind of knowledge, right? And that is going to give you the best opportunity of reaching your goals. Put in the time, take it seriously. This is like, you know, if someone said, you know, I'll give you I'll give you $10 million at the end of the year if you work 5 hours a day for me every day. Like, would you do it? Probably, right? So bet on yourself, right? Bet on yourself. Say, I can do really good things if I put in the time and be serious about it. And that's at least going to stack the cards in your favor, in my opinion.
I totally agree. Like, I didn't just go in the deep end in crypto on day one. Like, I've been in crypto since 2018. So, it took me several years of just on the side after work. This is my hobby. I'm learning and investing into all these projects. And it's not only until recently where I felt like I'm very strong in my DeFi game to decide, I'm going to do this full time. And but it's not like an overnight thing. Like, there was lots of work and studying and researching that I had to go through to get to where I am. So, but yeah, anybody can do it. It just takes time and effort.
Absolutely. With how technology in general is on a exponential curve, not only in crypto, but basically in all aspects of anything related to technology, which nowadays is everything. There are opportunities everywhere for you. There are opportunities and the chance for you to, capitalize on the things that are happening. All you need to do is be open and aware to what's happening around you, and make the most of this. A lot of people are scared of how things are moving so fast in our world, right? Technology wise, environmental wise, politically. The thing is as things ramp up, solutions that for problems that we currently have, the solutions are yet to come, right? And we can't fathom what these solutions are because the technology will get us there. So basically what I'm getting at is that be open to opportunity, be open to ideas, and those ideas will come to you. And then, learn about those ideas, spend time sitting with it, and you can be in an absolutely completely different place than you are now, if that's something that appeals to you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else that you'd like to share on this before I do a final recap here?
No, I think we've got it. Just, recapping Element 280 minting is ending in 8 days. I need to check the timer on the website myself.
Next Sunday. No, next Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
7 days, 19 hours. If you want to get that gives you plenty of time to read the white paper, learn about it. There's a dozen streams on it as well if you're a visual learner. And then you've got roughly 47 hours for the next payout if you want to get in on that as well. So don't rush, just look into it and learn and decide if this is for you or not.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you. So it's titanxhub.com. Bookmark this. Come here every day. And you'll find Element 280. It's here on the list. We have our white paper here, and we have our DApp. So you come in with either ETH. I'm just going to go to the mint because that's my jam. So you come in with either ETH or Titanx, and you can mint commons, rares, legendaries. There's different prices on each, but they all have the same ratio balance. You can mint for each of them, you can either mint a regular one or you can amp it. The amped gives you a higher reward possession. And from there, once you have your NFTs, you can sit back, drink your coffee, watch your rewards coming in, sitting on this on the vault page here, and you'll see your rewards on the left-hand side. This is where you can claim them every Sunday. And then on the right-hand side here you'll see your list of NFTs, which you can then burn at any time and receive the backed amount of Element tokens. November 9th, man. Then she's all locked in, said and done and dusted, right?
Yeah. If you're in the chat, everyone that's holding an NFT, they're just like cheering on, waiting for the mint phase to end. They've got their NFTs. They're waiting to see the supply get capped forever, and then the fun starts. Just while we were on the stream, I was looking. There's been three NFTs that were burned in the last hour.
Okay.
That's fun to watch. Every time an NFT gets burned, they're paying other NFT holders, and the system is just beautiful.
Yeah, and there's been a strategy. I didn't do it. People were doing it, and I'm just like, I'm just going to hold my NFTs. But people have been compounding them.
Yeah,
they've been burning them during this 16% tax phase. They've been burning their NFTs, and they've been making money. They've been able to mint more NFTs in doing so. I didn't see that coming. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's I mean, I envisioned that happening, and that's why that 16% tax rate is there. So normal tax rate after minting is 4%, but I knew people were going to be incentivized to be doing that and burning and minting and selling on the market, which I've decided is a good thing. And you know what? Why not quadruple the tax rate? If it still makes sense for them to do that and it's still profitable for them to do that, they're still going to do that. But in the process, now these NFT holders are getting greatly rewarded for holding and not doing that. So it's supporting the short-term players and the long-term players at the same time, which is, to me, it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah, awesome. I I look forward to a couple of years from now when the whole community has changed and evolved. We've gone through one or two cycles, and we're getting together. We're talking about different times, and and then someone will be like, "Oh yeah, I still got my E280 NFT," and everyone will be like, "Oh, what? You're still learning on that?" That's gonna be a fun conversation to have for sure.
Yes.
My opinion, anyway, is where I think that's headed.
Yeah.
Awesome. Again, I'll say that disclaimer. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research. Crypto is extremely risky. Don't invest more than you can lose, because there's always an opportunity where you can lose everything, right? So take your time, pace yourself, make your own educated decisions. With that said, my name is Kevin Lightup. I've had the pleasure of interviewing the dude. Dude, thanks so much for sharing your time with us, for sharing your energy in building this, and for letting people all know about it. This has been a great stream. I really, really enjoyed this. Hopefully I can have you back again sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and have a good evening.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, take care, everyone. Ciao.
See ya.